Good evening to you, one and all. Shadow Temple of the Zeldathon and AF Crew teams back here with more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Hope you're all doing so very well. It has been a minute since I have been back at home, able to stream here to all of you in the way that I want to. And so, I'm excited to be here for all of you here today. Hope everybody's having themselves a good weekend. Had a good weekend. I suppose it is Sunday night, is it not? For those of you in the States, those of you beyond, I'm sure, it's Monday morning. You're like, why? But yeah, no, I've been gone. Those of you may have tuned in for some of my supermarket streams in my low power mode when I was out in Myrtle Beach hanging out with Marissa's family. Those were fun, and we had a good time with those. But it is time to get to the core of what we're here for, which is some Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. If you haven't seen the series before, it is a whodunit series where your job is usually to figure out who committed a murder. Technically, we're a defense attorney, whose job is not to do that, but rather just get people off, get people who are otherwise accused of things off of those crimes. But it seems our trick to do that usually is by, just finding the actual killer. And so that's what we're going to do tonight. We are in case 3 of the original Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We are in the Steel Samurai case, where a beloved children's actor has been accused of murdering the guy who plays the villain in the very show that they were on together. Through extensive investigation, we have determined that not only did he not do it, there's no way he could have possibly have done it. And so we're starting to drill down, and maybe we found the actual killer. But before we tried to accuse her formally, she called the mafia on us. She called some big tough buddies who came out of nowhere and were about to disappear us if it weren't for the fact that one bumbling detective wandered into the scene at the right time and saved our butts. And so tonight, with all that information in mind, we are going to go to court and see if we can bring down D. Vasquez in the murder of the evil magistrate. Without any further ado, let me scroll through my way too long list of games on Steam and get this thing underway. Let's do it. Let's get it going. Come on, roll it out there. Let's do it. Come on. Oh man, my camera's all kinds of borked. It's been a minute since I've been in the space, and as a result, everything is broke. Give me 1 second here. I'll fix all these things. But yeah, sorry I wasn't around Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, by the way, friends. So a little bit of catching up to what's gotten up to this point, right? So I streamed, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of last week. We did a lot of Supermarket Simulator. That was super fun. I was, we was in Myrtle Beach with Marissa's family for that time. On Thursday, my future brother-in-law, came down to hang out with the rest of us, and I figured, okay, I need to make sure that I'm spending time with the whole crew and maximizing this because I'll be leaving the very next day. So I didn't stream on Thursday. And then on Friday, I was supposed to fly out Friday morning to get back to Milwaukee so that I could drive 2.5 hours south to go hang out with my other future brother-in-law for his bachelor party. Unfortunately, if you paid attention to the news at all on Friday, not to say there hasn't been enough fascinating news in the past couple days, Friday was one of the worst possible days to travel in the history of aviation. Because Microsoft, through a security tech issue, shut down pretty much every computer system in the world. And airlines, it turns out, depend on those pretty severely. Now, the good news, not Microsoft CloudStrike, but CloudStrike is, Microsoft licenses CloudStrike. So I think it is more accurate to say, at least for the purposes of understanding of what systems were effective, that Microsoft-based systems were the ones that were affected, because they are the ones who use it for all of their Windows. And God, that was a mess. Through sheer luck, through sheer power of will manifest into the world, managed to still get home Friday night. but it was a heck of a mess, of which, to this point, Marissa's still stuck in Myrtle Beach. She's supposed to be home right now. I was supposed to pick her up at like 4 or 5 o'clock, and then it became later today, and then it became tomorrow, and then Delta was like, no, we still can't send you home tomorrow. How about Tuesday? And she's like, nah, I'm just going to get my refund and book someone else. So assuming Southwest doesn't bail out on us, we'll be getting her home at midnight tomorrow. Post stream, weirdly enough. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that whole debacle was why I didn't stream on Friday. And then Saturday, I went to that bachelor party, and I had a lovely time with my other future brother-in-law, Evan, before I was not in any sort of ability to stream last night. But now I'm here, and I'm alone, and I'm here ready to stream with all of you, and just kind of worn out, but ready to stream some Ace Attorney. Let's get this thing underway, shall we? One last thing I want to fix. I'm going to fix the curtain here, and then I'll be ready to go. I just don't like that big old white curtain in the background. I think it adds a lot. Do you like my shirt, by the way? This is my Omega Mart shirt. It's got a lot going on for it, and I do enjoying it. Bento is here too. Yes, that is true. I did pick up Bento this afternoon, and he rewarded me by 5 minutes before I was going to go start up the stream, knocking down our big kitchen trash can and starting to root around in it. So he's in timeout right now. And I swear that dog's turned into a teenager, because I was so mad at him, and I put him in his crate. And I gave him the stink eye, and I swear he rolled his eyes at me. I swear that dog rolled his eyes at me. That little jerk. Bento's mad mom isn't home. That is so true. It is so very true. I'm sorry for all the scrolling, by the way. I'm trying to figure out what got us the third person on the hype train. Because I see... There it is. Very much Abyssal for the 63 months at tier 3, no less. You've been consumed by Final Fantasy XIV. Marissa's also playing Final Fantasy XIV right now, so you are certainly not alone. Very much Cherry for the 2 gifted subs, and thank you, Twister, for the 84 months. And just like that, we are starting up a hype train, friends. If you want to get yourself involved, all you got to do is give 100 bits, subscribe or resubscribe, or gift a sub in that there chat, and you can get yourself in there. If we get ourselves we got past level 1. We're already into level 2. So everybody who does it gets themselves an emote you can only get via hype trains, and then you get to keep those emotes forever. So pretty wild stuff. Anyway, Bento getting into the trash, of course. The biggest news of the weekend. Obviously, there's nothing else out there in the world that is causing any other new world-changing events. So with all of that in mind, let's go ahead and continue our adventures. I know, how could he? How could he? Yes, Marissa has finished the story for Dawn Trail, but she is now into the literally everything else that people play Final Fantasy XIV for in the context of Dawn Trail. But yeah, thank you much, Lucifer, gifting a sub out there. Do appreciate that. Right on in. We got ourselves is also halfway there on the thing. I wanna see my hype train though. Thank you. You want to see the hype train? That's the one I'm like. The other thing will keep cooking in the background, but I want to see the hype train. We got 3 minutes left to get to level 2, friends. If you want to get yourself involved with that, thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna get started here because I'm running late. I want to make sure we get through this series if I can, or this case here tonight if I can. I think we will, but I don't want to waste any more time. Except you notice the Creeper mini fridge in the back. Yeah, no, it's true. I have a little guy in the background. I do want to work on my background stuff here, because I have a light bar and I took it away to steal it for a convention back in April and never put it back. And I think it makes the room look so much better when it's in there. I don't know why I haven't put it back yet, but very much Lucifer for the 100 bits. And also it should be mentioned that yes, in case you haven't noticed, my alerts are working again because I'm not using XSplit anymore. I'm using OBS like a good boy, and everything's working great. October 20th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement.
In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. Today I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear.
Very well.
Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. To catch you up on the Ace Attorney story here, let me play it out. So you were introduced to the three main players of the case here today. Of course, Phoenix Wright is attorney. We're playing as him. He's the guy in blue. We're defending our client, Will Powers, the defendant, action star who plays the title role in the Steel Samurai TV show. He's accused of killing Jack Hammer, age 37, the former big-name action star who played the role of the evil magistrate. Through investigating several different people throughout this case, we have determined that Will Powers is absolutely not the killer. We initially blamed Wendy Oldbag, a.k.a. the security lady at the studios, but not really. We got some information from a 7-year-old who snuck into the studios where they record the show a couple of times, and he helped us out.
For me, bodybuilding is life.
Thank you, Aldi, for the 100 bits, and hey, Cunning, how you doing? Otherwise, there are really only three other people that we could lay blame here for. Either Penny Nichols, the assistant, who we're not blaming on this one. It's definitely not her, but she might have had the opportunity. The director, Sal Manella, who I want to accuse of murder because he's accused of murdering my senses. He's terrible. And but while he was present at the scene of the crime, is probably not a thing there. It's probably fine. This, however, is the person that we are pretty certain is the actual murderer here. Her name is Dee Vasquez. She's one of the main producers at the studios, and she absolutely either killed him or something happened and is covering it up. And she doesn't want us to dig in, but we're going to dig in today, so let's do it.
Rabble, 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 rabble. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution calls Miss Dee Vasquez to the stand. Miss Dee Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. So if you haven't seen the series here, the central premise for the game part of it is pretty simple. Witnesses make statements explaining what they are doing at the scene or why they're involved with the scene or why, their opinion on things. And then we look at the statement they make and see if the evidence we have contradicts or, goes against anything that they're saying, whether or not we can catch them in a lie, and that's what we do. We just keep catching them in lies until their whole story falls apart and they're no longer a credible witness or we accuse them of murder. That's rinse and repeat. Will the witness state her name and occupation? Dee Vasquez. I'm a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it while I'm not here.
Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder.
This is not how the actual court system works. It's a very streamlined and frequently silly version of actual court. But that's fine. Silly is fun.
Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay.
Maya is also here. Maya Fey is her assistant. She is also a spirit medium in training. She can call upon the souls of the dead to help her figure stuff out. That's why she looks like that. And sometimes she calls upon the soul of her dead older sister, who was originally our boss. And she helps out a lot. Japanese version of... Well, no, weirdly enough, it is Japanese version of Japanese court. But when it got localized to the States, they pretend that it's Los Angeles. So really, it's... a Japanese understanding of an American understanding of Japanese court. Which feels weird. She's guilty. I'll catch her with her pants down. So to speak. Witness testimony the day of the murder.
I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer.
His accent is going to take me a minute to recover. I'm not getting it quite there. Hey, ZMIce. This is confusing. Don't worry about what I just talked about. Just focus on what's going on. It's a murder mystery. We're trying to solve murder. Like this man who's been stabbed in the chest with a spear. Possibly. Welcome back to Well, thank you, Sailor Aurora. Yeah, no, happy to be back. It was a mess getting back, and Marissa's still dealing with that mess getting back, but we're doing it. Hey, Rofan, welcome here. How you doing?
We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all.
I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you?
The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it may be risky to walk with the monkey's head toppling over.
Van added to the court record. Wait, can you take... So there's a little weird piece about this, like, right? There are these different these different studio spaces. The producer and the director were in studio space 2. Studio space 1 is where the murder happened and where practice was supposed to continue. The problem is that there was a storm that happened on the same day of the murder that blocked the road from Studio 2 to Studio 1. It feels weird that she was able to take a van to get there. Now, I don't necessarily remember if that's the problem or not, but there it be. Thank you very much for the stream streaks, by the way. Getting those things cooking. Love to see it. Love to see it. Court system in Japan was changed right before or soon after. Sure. Fall gold raspberry. Golden raspberries. That sounds pretty good. Hey, Metal Wolf. You object to the objection being objected. Objectioner?
I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it.
Okay, so we got to dig in and find out where she's lying in all this. Because since we think she's the murderer, she has to be lying, right? So we just got to dig in. Entered the trailer a little before noon. That's fine. Meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. Yeah, I think that's good. Did I say Mick? Not independent of other words, I don't think. Maybe a syllable that I threw in there that I no, I did not say that just on its own. There was to be rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I had T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Okay, so let's look at our evidence and see if there's anything that doesn't match what she's talking about. So we have this photo, interestingly. Yeah, so this was like a big twist towards the end of the case before. Right as we were doing our last bit of investigating, this is a picture that was taken about 5 years ago. Up in the top there, Mr. Tennis Pro Bro over there is the actual victim in this case. 5 years ago, it seems he was part of some incident where a fellow cast member tragically fell on a way too sharp fence and impaled himself. And we're under the belief that Dee Vasquez, who's the woman on the picture as well, has been blackmailing him about this death for the past 5 years. has been forcing me to take cheap roles in various shows and things like that to hold this over him. I don't think we're there yet as to what this is going on. They're not just sharp, strong enough to pierce through clothing and then a dude's chest. Why are you putting like full-on like Buckingham Palace impalements on the top of your garden wall? It's not a good idea. Okay, murder happened at 2:30. Striking one leg, blocked the path of the crime scene of the crime between 2:15 and 4 o'clock. Let's dig around a little bit. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. This is rehearsal. So if I can't spot anything immediately that seems suspicious, I can always chip away. I can dig a little bit into the details and see if they let slip anything that doesn't make any sense. So let's start here and start pressing. Metal arrow being sharp isn't strange. That it's strong enough to deform upon impact. That is weird for sure. Like, you know, on one side of it though, you know, really the metal tip was not really doing much of the work so much as a man, probably if he's like a really muscular dude, like a couple, maybe 200 pounds of man meat just flying through the air and landing on a point. That's enough to do some damage. But man, that thing, I mean, in the picture, it looks like it went right on into him, which is a little crazy. Anyway. Let me hold on. That's better. Did no one leave during the meeting?
No one.
Come on, let's talk a little bit more about that.
Witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears.
Rehearsal afterwards, we went to Studio One. Press it! And what exactly was that?
I've forgotten.
Maybe you could try remembering?
No.
Well...
The meeting ended at 4, and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times.
You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. Can you please explain yourself? I don't feel like it. Okay, understandable. Have a nice day.
I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me.
Hold on. And thank you much, Jen. I hope you're doing well today. You had Sal take you? What does that mean?
It means what I just said.
Sir, did you not hear about the van?
I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van.
Oh, right.
At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break at the meeting.
And what were you doing during that time?
Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Oops. It was a 15-minute break.
I forgot how much of a goober Edgeworth actually is in this game. You know, they try to make him out to be scary, but he's kind of a goober.
Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer.
Do you have someone who can verify this?
Sal.
No, I mean someone else.
One person is enough.
She committed murder during that break. She wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. Find some evidence that proves she didn't eat that steak. Well, Vic, find anything? I kind of wish she said a little more.
It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said. Somewhere.
Something about the T-bone steaks, huh? Let's root around in there. Oh, excuse me. I think I remember what it is, but I'm trying to recall how I get this information. Because this one's a little tough. Let me finish pressing everything else. First off, I'm curious about that, Lucifer, but I think we haven't gotten a specific time of when they try to drive over. I think we have evidence stating that the path was blocked at a certain time that day. But later, when we were discussing things, it made it sound like they may have taken the van between 4 and 5, and by then, apparently, the blockage was already clear. By yourself?
Yes.
And you didn't stop in the employee area?
No.
Are you always this terse?
Yes. Oh, dear.
Okay, I've officially pressed everything. I'm going to try something here. I think it's wrong, but I'm going to hit it anyway. Objection! I was right. Ha ha! 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 As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say, nuh-uh.
What's this now, Mr. Wright?
Look at this.
It's a plate.
This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. So I know why this is the evidence, but I'm trying to figure out how I could have known going into the stream today. Essentially, there are plates left at the scene of the crime, but one of them didn't have bone on it, is the problem. And unless you decided to eat the bones, the Vasquez, you did something with them.
Mr. Wright, need I remind you, it was a T-bone steak.
Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Where are them bones? Yet, there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Miss Vasquez, tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? Without having some very strange dietary choices. I think I know how. This is worth it, right? This is absolutely worth it. You ate the bone too! Nick, are you sure? I mean, I love steak, but I don't eat the bone. Hey, big no-no. I'm doing good. How you doing? I did not save it. I don't care. Yeah, there's no bar, so no health lost. Hey, I don't eat it either.
Mr. Wright, I too leave the bone.
Can I try it again? I think I know how. Sorry, you didn't eat the steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. That steak break of their break staking. You took your steak and threw it somewhere like that incinerator.
I see. And what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? I mentioned that I wanted to finish this case by the end of the stream, but I want to keep, for some reason, I want to keep picking these. Badgering Salmonella, meeting the Steel Samurai. How could she waste a perfectly good steak? She was meeting with the Steel Samurai.
Order! Are you saying?
Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. Okay, one little extra piece of context here because it's been a minute. We found out that the murder victim actually stole the Steel Samurai costume, presumably to try to get Will Powers in trouble for whatever reason. We haven't really dug much into why that was the case, but he definitely stole the Steel Samurai costume to do something. As it turns out, we believe that he used it to try to confront her and make her think that he was Will Powers instead. And then, you did it. You killed him with your own hands.
Rabble, kill it, rabble. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous?
What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright?
Thank you, the follow, though. I appreciate it.
You say I did it.
Yes.
Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I.
Any day, Vasquez.
Good luck, Nick.
Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear.
Last stream was your last stream for the week. Yeah, it's Sunday. Sunday, new week. New day of week, as you do. I meant it literally as in, like, through Saturday I would not be around, but now, today, at least in the States, is Sunday. Do some stretching, I can do that. Go! Oh, that felt good. Thank you. Yes?
I'm, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon?
I don't know. You couldn't, could you? I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would.
You see?
Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case.
Meaning?
The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What? Before we continue, a quick Shakespearean insult. With taste. Oh boy, let's see. D. Vasquez, you kiss by the book. From Romeo and Juliet, Act 1, Scene 5. Oh, dang. What's the story for this one? Long story short, there's a children's kind of Power Rangers-like show. The protagonist is accused of killing the antagonist. But, like, in real life, the actors killing each other. But we have found that maybe the producer is the one to blame. Posture check. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to fix that. 1 sec. It was weird the spear wasn't bloodied. That is very true. All right. What's this game called? Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body.
I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. Do I? Is it the spear? Is that what we're going for? What's our plan here? What's our play? We're gonna show this picture and think that maybe somebody got stabbed on a fence again. Let's try that.
Wrong, Mr. Wright.
But I haven't said anything yet.
I know you well enough by now to know when you're going to present the wrong evidence.
Cool.
I can sense it too with my fey blood.
Okay, so I picked the wrong evidence. Enough with all the sensing. Right, okay, here's the real evidence, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. But before I do, did you know, according to the book of Sad Animal Facts, ants do not sleep, but they take 8-minute naps twice a day? You're welcome, Your Honor. The samurai spear itself. I present my proof. The so-called murder weapon. Hey, Skipper Dragons, how you doing?
But that is the murder weapon.
Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through. But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Lots of new folks coming in here tonight. Hello. Just try to get fingerprints off the spear. None. Well, no, actually, no. I think actually the fingerprints on it were my client. But in fairness, it's his spear. Of course, he has his fingerprints on it, right? So yeah, we had to figure out other ways to kind of get ourselves around this. But hello, Skipper Dragons and Jade's Workshop. Welcome. Hello, welcome. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest?
Rabble, seems like a problem, Rabble. Order!
Mr. Wright, what are you driving at?
Think about what you're... Silence. I'm the one testifying here and will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear is not a murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed?
Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer?
Yeah, sure, why not? Hey, Amelia, how you doing? Cat had 6 kittens last night. Very nice. How was my trip? It was fun. Other than the traveling back was not very fun. And still isn't fun because Marissa is trapped in Myrtle Beach for an extra 2 days now. Golly. Flights are rough out there, man. Flights are real rough out there. Thank you, Jades. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was?
I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be, unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then.
Now we can present the sharp fence of death. Marissa's staying safe. Yeah, thankfully, the whole reason we went to Myrtle Beach is that Marissa's family's down there. Like, they live down there. And so, we just hung out with them for the week. And right now, she's still with her parents, just hanging out, waiting. And they're not too far off from the airport. So, a bit of a pain, yes, but not the end of the world. Just frustrating. Because I like my wife, and I want her back. Give her back. Give her back. Your poster was in pain after the last... What? Huh? Anyway, look at this photo.
What is this? Oh, that was the thing you tried to show me earlier, but I told you were wrong. Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Why is he alive?
Five Guy Shadow, there you go. Although, to be very clear, as former fans of the Try Guys, a guy who loves his wife. Not the guy who loves his wife. Just a guy. Very, very important that you throw that out there.
Order! I cannot have this order trial. If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about?
This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest?
What are you saying?
Yes. What happened 5 years ago has happened again.
Mr. Wright, continue. I actually very engrossed.
I just like the idea, like,
Mr. Wright! Go on. I'm into it.
It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside of the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had done himself 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say.
In other words,
The victim, Mr. Hammer. He died in the same way that he caused another man to die. 5 years ago.
Precisely. Ironic, isn't it?
Is it?
Eh.
Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff.
You deny what I say is true.
Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio One, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio One and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting of the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio One and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time.
Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body?
I bet she's stronger than she look.
She had another way.
What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? I don't know, maybe some sort of internal combustion powered four-wheeled device capable of carrying heavy loads. If such a thing could exist in the world, it'd change the world around us for irreversible. Revolutionize the way that we transport it from point A to point B, but golly gee, if we could only figure it out how to make it work. Some sort of carriage without horses. She also has a bunch of hitmen. That's true. She called up a bunch of dudes in like suits as soon as she wanted them. So there's that too.
For instance.
Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body.
Interesting. Let's hear it then.
Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body.
Van. Like, I don't know, man. This is a pretty easy one. There's the van. And it was there. And it can carry body. It's very good at carrying multiple body, really, when you can think about it. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio One. And you used the studio van to do it. Oh, we're getting into the big Ace Attorney theme. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's designed to carry bodies. Like 8 at a time. Thanks, van, for carrying body. Multiple. How they pushing these men that they fall vertically instead of horizontally on the railing. Ah! He got really heavy shoes on, you see, and he fall back like that. Recall your testimony.
There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio One. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There is a van there, right? I had Sal drive me.
You used the van to carry the body to Studio One. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Maybe I'm very familiar with the dead body carrying ability of vans. So what? You can't prove nothing. This is in the story of my life. This is where the lawyer hits the pause button, and they're using my streams as evidence against me in a court. They're like, actually, Your Honor, it seems that we can prove quite a few things based on his knowledge of how vans carry dead bodies. They're like, oh, should have saved all those VODs.
Hold on, Wright. Don't forget. It was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator?
He doesn't have to be. He could be an unwilling conspirator. Of course he wasn't.
So without Mr. Manella noticing anything, she put the body in the van and managed to put the body into the costume. Are you seriously suggesting that is possible?
Of course I'm not serious. Haha.
Huh?
I was kidding to lighten up the proceedings. Yes.
Lighten? You can't lighten up a murder. Mr. Wright, the court requests that you refrain from making claims in jest.
Yes, Your Honor. Of course, Salmonella had to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. You can't lighten up a murder, but somebody can. Why is there no bar again? Good question. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue?
No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun.
I win? Yay! So, what happens next? Don't, me! Don't you have anything to say?
What would you like me to say?
Huh? I lost? Something like that? Go arg and snap your little smoker thing and run off and the police catch you and... No, nothing?
I just said that.
Wait, so you mean... D. Vasquez, so it was you? You killed Jack Hammer! Thank you, Nell. Have yourself a good night. I'm doing well, art lover, but let's make sure we're speaking them Englishes here. Mainly because this is an English-speaking channel, and also I cannot... my mod team isn't necessarily built to work through every other language in existence. Though Spanish might be the closest. Just as a general rule. Sticking to one.
Who can say?
Huh?
Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer.
Right. So I win.
But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright.
What? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Order! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Of course, as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but, there's no proof.
Edgeworth isn't sure.
Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving.
Well, what do we do now? Testify again. I'd like you to testify again.
Testify again?
Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time.
Damn.
Damn!
Come so far, only to fail. In the end, it doesn't even matter.
As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez.
Edgeworth?
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth.
I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't.
I see. Well, good trying.
Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again.
You're the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness.
I just want to hear your testimony again.
Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes.
Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about?
What is this case? This is case 3 in the original Ace Attorney, the Turnabout Samurai, where Will Powers is accused of murdering his fellow castmate of the Steel Samurai, Jack Hammer. But we've discovered that Dee Vasquez is the true killer. We just have to prove it. This is what we're doing. I'm doing well, Error. Thank you for asking.
Well, yes, indeed, verily I say, ergo,
I want to hear about what happened after they found the body.
After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter.
Nick, why did Edgeworth?
Who knows? He probably realized she did it too.
But wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that.
Edgeworth. No, I love how little in control Edgeworth is during this case. I don't know. I don't remember him falling apart this much, but I really enjoy. I think this is what endears people to Edgeworth, right? Is he's got this big boy brain man, but he's more of a doofus than he's letting on. You know what I mean? After finding the body,
I was with Sally Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent.
have I watched anime in general? Yeah. We've talked about it several times lately. What, are you asking more recently or what? But if you're asking about more recently, Delicious in Dungeon was the last one I watched. It was very good. And the anime, the Ace Attorney anime. Thank you. Okay. No, I've seen clips, but I've never watched the whole thing together. Just to be clear, but it's good from what I've seen, the little bits. I've also seen the outtakes. I think I've seen more outtakes of that show than the actual show, which is a little weird, but that's fine. So a lot of case files I never solved. To be clear, this game, though fantastic, is not necessarily true crime. All these are really goofy cases, and while there's at least a string of logic through it so that you can solve the mysteries, they aren't super realistic, right? But if you do like solving mysteries and you haven't touched the Ace Attorney series before, my goodness, you should be checking it out. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, all 12 games are pretty good. Do recommend playing them. Then of course the Danganronpa games, and then of course my favorite whodunit game of all time, Return of the Obra Dinn is ultimately my ultimate favorite. It's so good. Obra Dinn! It is the number one game that if I ever had the ability to erase my memory of something and then do it again, that is the game I want to do it with. Somnium Files is good, but I don't know. I think it's more about the characters and the story and less about the mystery itself. There's definitely something to be said about the mystery there, but I frequently when I played both of those games, it felt like it was more about the characters dealing with the wild situation they were stuck in, and less about the actual murders. Outer Wilds I would say is more of a discovery game. You know what I mean? I love it, and it's a good deduction game, but it's not. I wouldn't call it a whodunit. You know what I mean? And then of course, Case of the Golden Idol. If you like Obra Dinn, Case of the Golden Idol is the closest thing you're going to get to from Obra Dinn. Is extremely good. I had such a blast with Golden Idol, and then they got a couple DLCs for it, and they got a sequel coming out maybe this year. It's good. It's good stuff.
I immediately called the police. Then Powers showed up. The security lady old bag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. Went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home.
Thank you, Error.
I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
Okay, Nick, we're close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Twist her neck! What?
Maya. Right. But what was that last bit? After finding the body, Sal and Old Bag, the security lady, when he found the body, sure. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. Let's start digging here. I like that. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct?
So he says.
Did no one go to call him?
Remember,
What?
there was a dead body lying in front of us. Yet you expect me to be calm.
You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Press harder! Wait a second. Wouldn't that be the other way around?
The other way around.
You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person?
I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Mr. Vasquez?
Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really, stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing.
Oh no. Poor Will Powers. Poor Powers.
Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Vasquez, you may continue.
I immediately called the police. Then Powers showed up.
What was everyone else doing at the time? That one was at least a little bit easier to predict, but yeah, no, I do tend to read into these a little too much.
No one said a thing. It was silent. Completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry I'm late. Then silence. Dead silence. Silence.
Hey, Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. How about these symbols?
Maya, no.
Yeah!
You can't lighten up a murder, Maya. We discussed this already. Security lady, Old Bag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers. She was saying he did it. Old Bag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it?
YMC.
Shut up. More sad animal facts? Sure. Friends, did you know, according to the book of sad animal facts, that dragonfly migration takes 4 generations? Oof. That's tough. You're migrating and you don't even know if whatever you're doing there is gonna make it to the end. You're just doing it because your like progeny need that distance. Whew. That's a toughie.
She said because she saw him going toward the studio.
Right. The Steel Samurai. Press harder. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word?
Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I had heard all this after the fact.
That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera.
She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer.
I don't think there's anything in there I can use. No, we found out Wendy Oldbag was a big fan of the murder victim in this case, and it was real upset when he showed up dead. Also, is this something that you can just do? The police come and investigate a murder and you're like, I'm bowing out. And they're like, all right, yeah, this is fine. You get out of here, you scamp. You have a good day. How did you murder him? You asked to be left out?
Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing.
Get out of here, you little rascal. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question.
Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting, there was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us.
Covered for you? Or covered it up for you? There must have been a lot of riding on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. Again, she has relationships with the mob, so that's probably what's going on. Go back to the trailer to get your script and direction notes. The script and your direction notes?
Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen.
Press harder! Are the police reliable in this universe? I mean, it seems like they're trying. Whether or not they're actually good at their gig remains to be seen, especially considering that, like, the detective on every case that we solve in this game is Detective Dick Gumshoe, who, again, he's trying. I can't say that he's not trying, but boy. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes?
Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything.
Why?
There is a murder, after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that?
Oh yeah, I guess.
Very well. Miss Vasquez, please continue.
Yeah, no, Phoenix just missed a piece there. That was a really important thing. A very important thing. Why didn't we questioned as to why she didn't bring the script and direction notes to the rehearsal, and she said because the murder happened. However, she couldn't have known that there had a murder had happened because the discovery of the murder happened when she went to the rehearsal. And Edgeworth is going to cover for us here because he's a good boy. He just doesn't know it yet. Really tired nursing a caffeine headache. Why not solve it with more caffeine? Delicious. But yes, it's just I think it's just like cosmic coincidences on a cosmic like scale that Gumshoe keeps getting put on cases that we get ourselves involved in. That's just the play, right?
Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement.
Huh?
Think. Miss Vasquez, said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means?
She would have to know about the murder before going to Studio One.
She slipped up.
Wasn't it Attorney Bash? She's just not showing up in court. Yeah. Order! Mr. Edgeworth! What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Are you thinking of a career change to defense?
I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation?
I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me.
So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal.
Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason.
You knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so you left them behind. I don't have any evidence that actually says that. But we know for a fact that there are only a few people who could have known about Hammer or about Will Powers' Hammer's injury. No. Even that's wrong. It wasn't Hammer that got injured, it was Will Powers that was injured, right? Then explain this steak plate!
Phoenix, you've already used, or Mr. Wright, you've already used that piece of evidence. And steak, huh?
Yes, Your Honor! He choked on it! He choked on the bone! He tried to eat the bone and he choked on it! He couldn't practice after that, Your Honor!
Objection sustained.
Hey, Rye, how you doing? How did you know about the injury?
How did I know? Sal. He told me.
Sal, the director? We have to find something to peg this on or here, or everything we've done till now has been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. Okay, I think I have the piece. I know when it's supposed to play. I know that Hammer was injured, couldn't do any action scenes, so I left him behind. Send in the Powers' photo where he's dragging one leg. Send it. You knew that Hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers.
What?
Unfortunately, we don't have a picture of the practice rehearsal. They keep showing like the rehearsal, but they're showing it as just a visual aid for you and me. Unfortunately, there is no evidence with that picture, because that would be really nice. That would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers.
Pretending?
One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured?
I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong.
I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez, you saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes.
Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured?
Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers.
Ugh.
And when was he doing this?
Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered.
Exactly. Man, it's easy. This is easier when you're working with me. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning.
Order! Order! I will have order! Witness. Can you refute this claim?
Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez.
Very well. I have a question for you.
Ugh. Why are the real killers always so persistent?
Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing!
Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? There is a reason it is unclear to this court. At least to me, and I am the court, so, you know. Does the defense have anything to say in this matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive?
Of course I can. Okay. For some reason, I'm really playing out that neither of these two are acting real confident in court, and I am enjoying it, but I don't know why I'm playing it that way. I have proof, and I will show it to you. I present to the court evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive in this murder. This murder in this motive. This motive in this motor. 5-year-old photo. This is my proof.
This is a photo from before.
This photo reveals the motive in this murder. She was just a die-hard Steel Samurai fan and saw the evil magistrate and decided he needed to die. Excuse me. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day, 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom, and eventually, 4 steps above the ground.
His guilt weighed him down, no doubt.
No, I think it was the Steel Samurai costume. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. You used him as a tool, didn't you? Hammered everything in your way.
Bringing us to the present day. Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate.
Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star.
One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you've only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have?
Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine.
Woohoo! And the audience are like, whoa!
Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder.
I'm going to try she had no motive. She had no motive, Your Honor.
What's that now?
It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense.
What's that now? What you talking about?
It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez.
What?
There is a bar. Sorry, Metazoxin, I thought you were talking about, like, the lawyer bar. Like, the bar exam you have to take. But no, there was a railing. There was a railing on that staircase. She just, I guess, pushed him real extra good.
What?
What? Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with the sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Oh, the bar on the upper right. Gotcha. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then, Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill D. Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. Do it. Yeah! She did it. So, you did do it, didn't you?
I am guilty. It was me.
Someone call an ambulance!
There's blood everywhere. We're too late.
Miss Vasquez,
What happened here?
Manuel fell from the trailer stairs.
Manuel!
Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm.
No. How could this?
It was an accident.
Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and...
No. Manuel!
Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez.
No! Please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again.
Mr. Edgeworth, where's D. Vasquez?
In the waiting lobby, Your Honor, as Coleman collected as ever.
Yes, it is to assume that she was close to Manuel on that. I'm pretty sure, at least. So it was kind of a personal thing in addition to being like, just blackmail-y thing to do.
I see. Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
it appears you have brought about yet another miracle.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle.
Yes. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty.
Woo! Yeah! Oh my God! We won!
That is all. This court is adjourned. Ah, yes, you're right. I forgot this isn't just a contest. I forgot that we're actually trying to prove something here.
October 20th, 1:12 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3.
I don't know what to say. Thank you so much.
I'm just glad you're okay.
Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he had tried to frame me for murder, it makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me?
I'll show evidence! Haha! Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because you broke his favorite samurai spear. How dare you? Mr. Monkey's head. How dare you? Sleeping pill bottle. Steak plate. How dare you? It's got to be Path to Glory. Contains photos of every victory scene in every battle the Steel Samurai has won. Sometimes villains get a little chip on their shoulder, you know. So, it's fine. It's because you were the Steel Samurai.
Because I was the Steel Samurai.
Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kids' show and is a villain to boot. Oh, but villains are so fun. The kids love the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you.
I think I understand. He could have just told me. I'd have changed places with him any time.
I think you're missing the point.
Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over.
So am I.
Congratulations, WP!
Oh, thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. Can't wait to get back to that sweaty costume and...
Ooh.
Huh? Is something wrong?
No, of course not. Ah! Nick, Edgeworth.
The joke there is that we found out the Steel Samurai was getting canceled because, murder. But he doesn't need to know that yet. He can feel happy about, winning this thing. You know what I mean? It's just going on. Edgeworth is mad. It's right. We never found the costume. Although I think the implication there is that it was most likely thrown into an incinerator, and that was just the end of it. Say something, right? You're the one who came over here. We're just hanging out.
Not good at small talk.
Huh? What? I think that's the implication. It's just like any evidence that they deemed unworthy, they threw in. Do we ever learn Edgeworth's first name? Miles. Miles Edgeworth. Incinerators aren't that common in the U.S., but man, are they used in a lot of killer murder trials, both in this game and in Danganronpa. That was too bad, Edgeworth.
You don't waste any time gloating, do you?
No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers.
Edgeworth, I tried to get you executed. Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers, though.
Liar!
Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years.
Meet again?
However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I'm saddled with unnecessary feelings.
And you wonder why people ship these two, all right? This started early. This started very early. There's a lot of games in this series. This is only case 3 in the very first one. And it was lines like this that people were like, well, hell. What about this?